Hello, my name is Kat Weiss. Today I will be presenting a resource handout that includes specific instructional strategies to teach phonemic awareness, phonics, and reading comprehension in kindergarten. Collaboration among educators is critical in supporting the needs of all students and promoting student engagement. Collaborative practices allow teachers to identify instructional strategies and activities that have been proven to be effective in meeting students' needs across classrooms and content areas. Furthermore, teachers can learn from one another by sharing effective and engaging strategies, lessons, and methods to implement in the classroom. Additionally, teachers can work together to discuss challenges they face and brainstorm new ways to address such difficulties. With multiple perspectives engaged in improving practices and student outcomes, collaboration has been shown to increase student engagement and improve academic achievement. Now we are going to get started with discussing instructional strategies. First, I'm going to share some phonemic awareness strategies. In the phoneme index card strategy, the teacher will present three index cards of the same color and tap each card as students segment the word. Students will chop for each sound. Then, the teachers will take away one letter and replace the card with a different colored card. Students will then segment and chop the word. Then, blend the sounds to make the new word. This activity supports student learning by addressing a variety of learning styles into the activity such that there are visual materials, the colored cards, and kinesthetic learning with the students chopping for each sound. An extension strategy for students would be for the teacher to present a picture card and ask students to replace the beginning, middle, or ending phoneme with a new phoneme. Students would then mentally answer this question and say the new word. This strategy supports student learning by presenting visual cues and also by challenging advanced students to mentally solve the problem. Next, in phoneme awareness, I'm going to discuss the phoneme blending strategy, body-coded blending. The teacher provides students with segmented phonemes. They will then model for students the chopping motions, placing your hands together and moving from right to left for each phoneme. Students will repeat the motion and then sweep their hands from left to right and blend the new word. This strategy supports student learning because it allows students to connect sounds to movement, thus improving learning retention. An extension strategy for phoneme blending would be the blending guess the word game. In this game, the teacher places a group of picture cards in front of students and explains that they will use snail talk to say a word. Students must guess the word that is being said and blend the words together. This strategy supports student learning by engaging students through interesting and relevant activities. Now we will move on to phonics. When introducing a new phoneme, the teacher will first model and explain the new sound, then present students with a photo card of an object that begins with a new sound. The teacher will inform students of the letter, name, and sound, ask students to repeat the sound. Then, as a class, they will brainstorm words that begin with a newly introduced letter. This strategy supports student learning through direct instruction. Students are supported with or provided with a clear and unambiguous explanation of the new sound. For students that demonstrate mastery, the teacher may present students with photo cards. The photo cards will have illustrations of objects that begin with the new sound. Students are then asked to name the objects in each picture and the sound at the beginning of the word. This strategy supports student learning by incorporating visuals to practice the new sounds. Students are able to repeatedly practice and identify the new sound. Another strategy to teach phonics is using a blending board. The blending board will have 3 letters on it to create a word. The teacher will point to each letter and the students will say the sound it corresponds to. Then the teacher will move their finger across the board quickly and students will blend the word. This strategy supports student learning because it helps students learn the foundational reading skills of segmenting and blending CVC words. Once students have mastered the skill, they can implement a scrambled word game, where students use magnetic letters to unscramble a CVC word and blend them together. This strategy supports student learning by engaging students through interesting and relevant activities, as well as developing their blending skills. Now we will move on to teaching reading comprehension. After the story, the teacher will implement the 5-finger retell, in which they retell the characters, setting, main events, end, and a favorite part using their fingers. This strategy supports student learning by providing an interactive way to recall important information from a text. To extend student thinking, the teacher will integrate a group discussion. In the group discussion, the teacher will ask open-ended questions that require critical thinking and explaining the reasoning. For example, asking students to make predictions or connect the story to their lives. This strategy supports learning by providing opportunities to utilize academic language, support their reasoning, and share ideas. Another strategy to practice reading comprehension is mind movies. During descriptive sections of a story, the teacher will ask students to close their eyes and create a mental movie of the scene using 5 senses. These support student learning by requiring students to reread text and gain a deeper understanding of what they have read. To extend student learning, students will draw a scene from the story. In their illustration, students will include the character setting, main events, and key details mentioned in the book. This strategy supports student learning by having students think deeply and creatively about the text that they have read. Students must apply their understanding in order to create their illustration. Now we will move on to collaborative practices. One strategy that could be implemented into the classroom is think, pair, share. First, teachers ask a specific question about a given text. Then students are given a certain amount of time to think about their answer independently. Then students are paired with a partner and share their answers, thought processes, and strategies with their partner. Lastly, students will share their thoughts with the whole class. Another cooperative learning strategy is numbered heads together. In small groups of 4, students are given a number 1 through 4. The teacher will provide a task and students work together to discuss their response. The teacher then randomly calls the number 1 through 4, and all the students that have been given that number will share their reasoning with the whole class. These cooperative learning strategies support student learning by developing higher level thinking, communication, and leadership skills. Thank you for listening.